You definitely haven't seen such a safe shelter before. It is entirely built from a giant structure, weighing tens of thousands of tons. The interior layout is interconnected in all directions. It can accommodate an entire family. Inside, it is equipped with an integrated dehumidification system. There is also a homemade bathing center and toilet. I guess your phone battery is probably around 65% right now, and you have your right foot crossed over your left. Hurry up and join me for today's bedtime little story. Because Carl was tired of city survival, he abandoned his job delivering supplies and decisively went to the Alps. He trudged through the snow for dozens of kilometers, all to find a place to shelter from the snow and wind. While walking halfway up the mountain, he nearly accidentally discovered a natural cave. The interior space was very ample, and the ceiling height was not low. Since the inside of the mountain was interconnected, Carl wrapped some cloth around a piece of wood and set it on fire to make a torch. He explored all the passages inside to ensure there were no moving proteins hiding within. Fortunately, there was light at the end of the narrow passage. This meant there were no harmful gases inside. Starting from the east and sitting at the foot of the mountain drinking tea, he could also enjoy a panoramic view of the surrounding mountains. One sip of hot tea, and his body temperature gradually rose. Carl cleaned up the soil inside the cave and brought various stones from the back mountain to arrange them. Halfway up the mountain, there was no shortage of stones, so he could break oversized stones as needed. To create a warm and comfortable resting space, he also built a windbreak wall with stones in front of the entrance. During this, Carl borrowed some supplies from the neighbor lady. Some sacks and cardboard boxes would serve as equipment for transporting supplies. He then continued to complete the remaining wall. Although each stone was different in size, under Carl's skilled hands, they could always be perfectly stacked. Afterward, he collected a batch of logs from the back mountain. Unfortunately, the weather turned bad. Sharp rain started to fall, so Carl had a clever idea. He laid a rainproof cloth over the rocks, so the rainwater dripping down could serve as his daily drinking water. While collecting rainwater, he spread dry soil over the damp ground to keep the interior environment dry and comfortable. Considering the cave needed sufficient lighting, he designed the remaining space as transparent windows, using wire to bind them. He increased the overall stability of the frame. The sacks, borrowed from the neighbor lady, finally came in handy. Using ropes and needles, he stitched the limited-sized sacks together, ensuring they stayed forever united. Carl's eyes were his measuring tool. The stitched area fit perfectly with the frame. The covered shelter could block the cold wind from entering, while allowing light in. The interior remained warm and cozy. Carl then selected a highly flexible piece of wood to build the round window frame. After confirming the size was correct, Carl cut the transparent raincloth. He then nailed the excess edges in place. Thus, even inside, he could enjoy the mountain view. Afterward, he started building the indoor fireplace. Several logs were pieced together to form a support frame. Then he laid a row of logs on top. He covered them with stones. Finally, he sprinkled some soil on top to insulate from heat. This completed the construction of the fireplace. After mixing some concrete, he coated the surrounding area. He also prepared a chimney pipe. It led outside to vent carbon monoxide. Is this the legendary mud that can't hold a wall? After a busy morning, Carl was already exhausted. He kept lunch simple. He smeared some unknown substance on the lamb leg, then placed it in a cool spot indoors. Finally, he covered it with a bag to prevent small rodents from gnawing it. Even living in the mountains, he still had to maintain hygiene. For this, Carl built a bathroom. He wrapped the frame with a plastic raincloth to prevent internal heat from escaping. A small cut created the entrance. Considering the muddy floor during bathing, Carl laid a solid floor inside. He heated a wire and poked holes in a bottle. This became a makeshift shower. Then he used a shovel to prepare the sleeping area. He cleared the crushed stones from the floor, accumulating the bed for nighttime rest. To make it softer, he added a layer of soil on top. The floor was treated similarly. This eliminated the damp, muddy feeling from the ground. He collected some dry firewood from the back mountain and lit the long dry fireplace. He then laid a carpet on the floor and changed into comfortable slippers. Once the fireplace had enough coals, he cut the large lamb leg into pieces, cutting them into large chunks. He skewered them with sticks and roasted them over the coals. The roasted lamb was crispy and aromatic. One bite, and the fatigue instantly disappeared. After replenishing his protein, he blocked the shelter's entrance with stones, then placed logs on the slope of the doorway and covered the surface with soil. He leveled the entrance. For easier access, distant pigeons caught Carl's attention. He had a clever idea. He made a trap and waited patiently for the catch. The brother was so cute, absolutely adorable. He skewered it and roasted it over the fire. Sitting on the mountain, he enjoyed this delicious meal. Then, he used some materials to make a wind-proof door. Back inside, he lit the bedroom lights. He could also sit on the bed and read, purifying his mind. The next morning, the first thing Carl did was take a bath. He lit the firewood at the bottom to heat water, connected the pipe to the shower, and took a shower. Outside, there was an automatic drainage system. He could clean himself even in the wild. Very comfortable. He could also dry his hair over the coals. He sliced tomatoes. If still hungry, he cracked 2 eggs. Paired with shanding pancakes, it was a full meal. People often asked about the toilet. He dug a pit, stacked stones on the sides, then covered it with transparent plastic. This solved the toilet issue. Outside, the pit served as a sewage area, finally covered with plastic, to prevent wolves from wandering in. He used wooden barriers at the entrance. At night, when Carl rested, he heard wolves howling outside. Peeking out, he saw no threat. He then closed the window and went back inside to sleep peacefully.